On YouTube, for example, the thumbnail image and then the headline are very, very important, because if they don't click through that, then nothing's going to happen. It's getting them to actually like notice it and click through it. And then once they do that, social media, that's something that I don't consider myself an expert at that. Some people might think I am, but I don't really get it. I treat it the way I treat everything else, where it's like I use it the way that would be helpful to me if I was on the other end. There's all kinds of like strategies and tricks you can do, and making certain posts that say certain things and all this stuff. I just post stuff when I feel like it and when it seems relevant. I do use meetedgar.com to automate a lot of that stuff, which is pretty helpful. Yeah, and it's an ever-changing game, you know, with the new platform that just opens up, and all of a sudden you got to get on the bandwagon with that, and whether it's Threads or TikTok or whatever else they're doing. And I find it kind of hard to keep up with all that stuff. So I focus on what I know I can do well. And if it's something outside of that, I realize there's a line somewhere and I can't do everything.
Can't do everything, right? And
yeah.
so, yeah. Do you prefer TikTok? Do you prefer Instagram, Facebook? Is there something that you prefer over others?
For me, and what I heard this years ago, and I think it's still true today, your audience will sort of come from wherever you decide it's going to be. A lot of my people were sort of naturally on Facebook, so I started a Facebook group, and that a lot of them seem to gravitate there. I don't love Facebook, but that was kind of what I had the most familiarity with. YouTube, it's not really a social network, I don't think, but I know there's a lot of stuff that happens there for me. TikTok, I'm on there, but I don't know what I'm doing. We haven't figured it out. I'm not doing that well there. Instagram is another one where there's a fair amount of activity going on. We're on stuff like Pinterest and LinkedIn and that kind of thing, but for the most part, it's just kind of automated posting. So it's one of those things where I just kind of decide I'm gonna try to be the best at these, and I'm gonna let the other ones just kind of be. But I think really what it comes down to is engagement. Like, what is gonna actually make people stick around that platform and make them watch it or read it and keep scrolling and keep interacting. And that could be kind of a tough thing to figure out. There's some clickbaity, cheesy ways to do that, and then there's authentic, real ways to do that. And you know, sometimes I guess at what it's going to be and I end up being right, and sometimes I'm wrong. But essentially, I think engagement and what is your audience actually going to interact with and care about.
When you say engagement, are you talking about like comments and likes, or are you talking about time to watch the video, or both?
I think it's both. Like, I think Facebook and YouTube, like really what they want to do at the end of the day is show people more ads, because that's how they're going to make money. So
yeah,
what is going to
people are engaging with it, then that means that you've got something that's going to help them show more ads.
Yep, exactly. So
right,
with YouTube, it's like, what would make them watch another video or keep watching the one that you're on?
What have you found to be able to get engagement?
Yeah, well, there's sort of different levels to that. Like on YouTube, for example, the thumbnail image and then the headline are very, very important, because if they don't click through that, then nothing's going to happen. It's getting them to actually like notice it and click through it. And then once they do that, like, don't be boring. That's like the worst thing you can do, is bore people. Like, you need to.
Screwed then. I'm screwed.
Yeah. Well, me too. Sometimes. And that's kind of where the art and the science comes into it, because like I can't say I'm that great at like really keeping it interesting and making them watch past 30 seconds. But it's sort of a psychological thing of understanding like, what do people find entertaining? What's going to make them interested? And sometimes they hit the nail on the head, and sometimes they just don't. But I think so. Good thumbnail, good headline. When the video starts, like, get right into it. I think if there's something you can do to kind of surprise people, to throw them off guard, that kind of thing.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Is it the content that's creating those comments? Like, how are you getting the comments?
Some of it will just happen naturally. Like, if you're explaining something that may be controversial, people have a different opinion, they would put their comment in there. Sometimes people will comment if it's just really good. Like, if they just love it, they'll comment just out of the sheer joy that you helped them out with something. Other times it might be like, if what you're saying leaves unanswered questions, they might do that. Sometimes you can just tell them, hey, leave a comment below and tell me what you think about this. Sometimes that might work.
Okay, hold on, Seth, real quick. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, make a comment. Tell me what would make you a comment. All right, we'll test this out.
Yeah,
Thanks,
let's
Seth.
try
Thanks
it.
for the opportunity.
Yeah, and also, like, when people do leave comments, like, reply to those comments, especially when you can reply in a way that's not just a canned response, like, hey, thanks for the comment, but like,
yeah, like
actually give a thoughtful response.